Recent satellite images indicate that North Korea is building a new tunnel at its nuclear test site. A report on 38 North, which is a website run by U.S. Korea Institute at the Johns Hopkins University of Advanced International Studies, studied images taken between April and November, and what they found were new tunnels that were not there before, Jose. And we saw the same thing with their labor camps. We know this very think tank was looking at images on Google Earth, it was that time, but what they found was all these new things being built, and it appears to show work in a new area of the Punggye-ri nuclear zone. Don't worry, the report says that there's no sign that any nuclear test is imminent for now, but it definitely seems like they're trying to increase their capability. North Korea has carried out 3 underground nuclear tests at this facility recently in 2006, 2009, 2013, and for now it looks like more to come. What are they arming up for?
I think they're just taking advantage of the fact that the world right now has the eyes set on Middle East, that they are not really involved in this world conflict, and little by little they're doing their own business. North Korea has just recently kept launching and learning how to launch missiles at remote and from the ocean. So they keep arming up. It's something that they do. And at the same time, they are enjoying the fact that nobody's paying attention too much on what they're doing.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point that you brought up. And there is some mystery here. We don't know for sure what's going on underneath these sites. They're thinking they're new tunnels. They might all connect to each other, leading to one huge point where they keep all the nuclear equipment, but we simply don't know at this point. So it's still a mystery to everybody on the outside. You brought up a very good point, Jose, about how they're kind of taking this opportunity because they know that everyone is talking about Syria and Iraq for now, right? And it started to get me wondering, because I heard this speech that Kim Jong-un gave back in October, where he said, I'm going to paraphrase, he said, our revolutionary armament today can deal with any kind of war the U.S. imperialists ask for. He's telling these people, his people this, this is the kind of rhetoric they hear every day, probably, through their propaganda news outlets. But these are the kind of, speeches that he's giving to his people, while there's this, we in the West are trying to steer clear of a third world war going on in the Middle East. And it gets me wondering, do people in North Korea even have any idea what's actually going on in the world? I mean, they're still fearing the U.S. is going to invade them and take over, and he's feeding that to their people so that he can get his support that he wants. But it's like, there's so many bigger things going on right now, it makes me wonder if they even have any clue.
Well, the machinery is in place for them to learn whatever the government wants them to learn, and to be informed of whatever the government wants them to be informed. And it feeds the North Korean narrative to keep the U.S. as the main enemy. At the same time, they feel a little bit in the silence because the U.S. is not paying too much attention on them, because right now, truth be told, the real problem in the world is the extremism in the Middle East and the vacuum of power in the Middle East, and that is evidently leaking into the world. North Korea, at the moment, the only thing that they are doing to worry the rest of the world is this, upping of the armament, and it's hard.
It is hard, and you can't know, and the only sources we have are these satellite images.
Correct.
So it's hard to go just by that. Anyways, so here we see, nuclear facilities being ramped up in North Korea, and through these satellite images, we can definitely see the North Koreans are trying to increase their capabilities.